Hello everyone, welcome to the class once again. I hope you're all doing good and in the best of your health. So the first exercise of this chapter, Mechanical Properties of Solids, we have already discussed the first 5 questions based upon this chapter. Let's proceed with the next 5 questions, and I hope that you are all enjoying learning with me this chapter, Mechanical Properties of Solids. It's an easy chapter, a very simple and easy question can be asked in your examination, that is your NEET examination. Let's go ahead with the 6th question of the day. We have a wire of length L and cross section A. So you can see that we have a wire whose length is L and cross section is A, is made of material of Young's modulus Y. That means Young's modulus is capital Y that has been given. It is stretched by an amount X. The work done is option number A, Yxa by 2L, B, Yx square A by L, C, Yx square A by 2L, and D, 2Yx square A by L. Now see how to solve such kind of questions. It's simple. If we apply very simple physics, we are going to reach to the answer. See here, it says that we have a wire of length L. Its length is L, area of cross section is A. So if I draw the wire, how will it look like? Let's say this is the wire which is hanging as shown. Now this has been stretched by an amount X. Its Young's modulus is Y. It is stretched by an amount X. So if it is stretched, that means a force should be applied at one of its end. So if we hang some weight from here so that it applies some force in the downward direction, due to this stress applied on this wire, its length is going to elongate. We need to find out what is work done during this elongation. Now you will see here, we all know that Y is equal to stress applied F by A, and let's say due to this stress applied, the stretch in length is X. So I'm going to use here X, and this will be the formula X by L. X in the denominator, then L will go in the numerator. Not a problem, we have done all this basic part. Now you see here the force that will come out to be YAX divided by capital L. This will be the value of force. Now due to this force, when the extension in the wire is X, if a very small stretch dx length is there within the wire, the small work done, if due to this force a small stretch in length dx occurred, so the small work done will come out to be dw, that will be equal to f dx. Now let us put the value of f as YAX by L multiply with dx. So we are going to get small work done will be YAX dx upon L. This will be the value of small work done. Now to calculate the entire work done when it is stretched from 0 extension to extension for a length X. So what we are going to do, we are going to integrate such small work done. This will come out to be YA by L integration of X dx from 0 to X. Although I have taken X and finally the stretch in length is also X, don't worry, we can write in this way, it will not be a problem. YA by L, we need to integrate it. So work done will come out to be YA by L X ds integration X square by 2. So let's put here X square by 2, 0 to X. Finally we get Y half Y X square by L. This is the value of the total work done when the stretch in the wire is of finite length X. This is how we can go ahead. Half YA X square by L, let's check here with the option. Half YA X A by L is incorrect. Half, there is no half here, so remove it. Half YA X square by L, so yes, option number C is right. D 2YX square A by L, this is also incorrect. So in this case, I have told you how sequentially, how accordingly you can proceed with this step to find the net work done. Sometimes you can even do, you can apply the concept of average force multiply with the total extension in the wire that has been produced. So once again, I am giving a very short method. If in exam, you need not to do this entire part. What you can do, we all know that we can do that work done is equal to F average multiply with X, and average force will be equal to the total force that is applied here. So it will be F by 2 multiply with X, you can do in this way, and F that you have to apply, that you can apply using this. Y equals to F by A x by L, you can apply here. So F will come out to be YA x by L. Now you put this value here, you will get the work done. So let me show you all here. If we put the value as shown, so we will be getting F by 2, instead of F you put YA x by L, YA x by 2L into x. So this will come out to be half YA x square by L. This is just a short method in your objective examination. This is just a method you can remember to use the concept of average force. Although the force is variable, the average force you can take to be half of the net force that will be acting at the last point. So you will take that as F by 2. So F by 2 multiply with x, you will get half a YA x square by L. This will be the value of work done in this case when the wire is stretched through a finite length, that is x. So two methods, one with all these steps employed, we have done this, and once the shortcut method that we have applied to reach onto this solution. Let's go ahead with the next question. Question number 7. A polyester fiber rope of diameter 3 centimeter. So remember the diameter of the rope is given as 3 centimeter. Has a breaking strength of 150 kilonewton. That means if the load applied is 150 kilonewton with this diameter, with this specific area of cross section, the wire will break. If it is required to have 600 kilonewton breaking strength, what should be the diameter of similar rope? A 12 centimeter, B 6 centimeter, C 3 centimeter, and D 1.5 centimeter. I hope you all must be remembering about the breaking stress. I'm not using the strength concept, I'm using breaking stress. So breaking stress, you see, as per the given information, at this particular stress, the wire will break. So we are having breaking stress as F by A. So F A. Now you see here, A we can use with the help of diameter concept, that can be written as pi d by 2 whole square. This can be written as area, and force, let's keep it as F. F1 in our first case and diameter d1 in the first case that we have used. Now you see here, since breaking stress should be equal for both the wires, the material of the wire is same, we need to change the diameter and we have to increase the breaking strength to 600 kilonewton. So for the new breaking, the breaking stress has to be same. So can we write, if the new load, that is F2, that is 600 Newton. So equating F1 by pi d1 by 2 whole square is equal to F2 by pi d2 by 2 whole square. So from here, we have to find out the second diameter, the diameter of the second case. So you will be having d2 whole square. d2 whole square will move here, you will get F2 by F1 into d1 whole square. F2 by F1, F2 by F1 into d1 whole square. This is what you will be getting. d2 whole square is equal to F2 by F1 into d1 whole square. Now next thing, just put up the values. F2, the new breaking strength, that is actually 600 kilonewton. You can see here it's 600 kilonewton. Let's put up the value. It's 600. I'm not putting the units, you will be seeing that because F1 is also in kilonewton. F1 is 150 kilonewton. Let's put up the value. 150 kilonewton and diameter 1 whole square. The diameter is given as 3 centimeter. Let's put it as 3 centimeter whole square. So from here you will be getting 4 multiplied with 3 whole square. Now second diameter will come out to be 2 into 3, that will be in centimeter. So 6 centimeter will be the answer. That is, in the second case, you have to increase the breaking strength to 600 kilonewton. For that, the diameter has to be 6 centimeter. That is what we are gaining from this information. Rest all options are incorrect. I hope that you have got. Regularly I am telling you, don't use directly force concept, use the concept of breaking stress. And if you know the breaking stress, that has to be same for different dimensions of the wire used when the material is same. This is a good question to actually learn the concept of breaking strength and breaking stress. Next question of the day, we have question number 8. Let's go with the question number 8. When a weight W is hung from one end of wire, other end being the elongation produced in it if BL. When a weight W is hung from one end of a wire, other end is actually fixed, the elongation produced in it is L. If the wire goes over a pulley and two weights W each are hung at the two ends, then the elongation of the wire will be A, 4L, B, 2L, CL and DL by 2. Let's check how to do this. First of all, you see here, it's given that we have one wire. Let me show you how this one wire is hung. Initially, this is the case of the wire. This is a long wire. Now, a weight W is applied. Weight W is applied. Now, see here, when a weight W is hung, that means weight W is applied, the elongation produced is L. The elongation produced, let me use here, this is the natural length, the elongation produced is L. This is what that has been given to us. Now, if this wire goes over a pulley and two weights W each are hung at two ends, two weights, see here, two weights W each are hung at the two ends, then what we need to do, we need to find out then the elongation of the wire will be. Next case, you see, this is the case, there's a pulley and the wire is hung in this way. Half part will be hanging at this side. The remaining half part will be hanging at this side. So, if the total length in this case was actually equal to, you see here, if the total length is actually L in this case, L is the original length. So, in this case, it will be L by 2 and L by 2. Try to understand. Next thing you see here, WW is the weight that has been hanging from each of its end. Weight WW is hanging from each of its end. Now you see, each part is going to extend by what amount? Let's try to find out that. Don't worry about this length can be neglected in front of the entire length. So if you see from one end, if I write it as delta x, that is the extension in one end, we'll be having Young's modulus is equal to F by A, and let's say it's delta x, the extension in one wire, upon length, that is L by 2. F is here W, force W by A, and L by 2, and here you are having delta x, this is y, so delta x will come out to be W L by 2A y. Now W L by 2A y, you are getting, this is the extension in one part of the wire. Now from here, if I talk about the extension L that we have evaluated, this L will come out to be, L will be equal to W L by A y. This will be the value of L extension produced here. This is the extension produced in this wire, the same will be extension produced in the other wire. The total extension will be 2 delta x, that will be WL by AY. WL by AY, this will be the total extension. So WL by AY, that is also the extension produced in the first wire. Hence, you must be knowing that the extension produced still will be the same if both the loads are attached here. The wire length is also reduced to half. So we have used this, extension produced will be the same, that is L. So option number C will be the right answer. Rest all options you can ignore and neglect. Hope that you have got how to solve such questions. Let's go ahead with the next one. And hope you are getting how to solve such questions. Not too tough. Actually, for learning, all these questions are very much important. And let me tell you, if you practice, if you see and if you apply all these concepts in your unsolved example, you'll find that you're in a better position and you are getting an edge over the others. Let's go to the next question. Ninth one. The compressibility of water. You must be knowing what is compressibility. That is inverse of bulk modulus. The compressibility of water is 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 per unit atmospheric pressure. 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 per unit atmospheric pressure. the decrease in volume of 100 cubic centimeter of water under a pressure of 100 atmosphere will be A 0.004 cubic centimeter, B 0.025 cubic centimeter, C 0.4 cubic centimeter, and D 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 cubic centimeter. It says that the compressibility of water is 4 into 10 to the power minus 5. Let me write down first compressibility. And for compressibility, we will use small k to denote it. Compressibility. So let me use this as k is equal to 1 by b, 1 upon bulk modulus, that is what we know. And this is given as 4 into 10 to the power minus 5. 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 per unit atmospheric pressure. So let me use this as atm power minus 1 per unit atmospheric pressure. So we can use in this way. Now we all know about bulk modulus. Bulk modulus we have learnt, it is, if I talk about magnitude, it will be dp upon dv by v. This is what we have learnt. So 1 by b will come out to be dv by v divided by dp. This is what we have learnt about bulk modulus. This is what we can write about the compressibility. This is the value k. Next thing you see, we need to find out the decrease in volume of 100 cubic centimeter of water. That is dv we need to find out. Volume v is given as 100 cubic centimeter. So dv will come out to be, dv need to make out, write it k into dp multiply by v. K into dp multiply by v. This is what you can do. You will get the value of dv. Now put up the value. you have to put 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 per atmosphere, and then pressure dp that you have to put under a pressure of 100 atmosphere. So you have to put dp, that is change in pressure, that is 100 atmosphere. So let us put here 100 atmosphere multiply with volume, and the volume of water that has been given to us, that is 100 cubic centimeter of water. So 100 cubic centimeter of water we have placed here, 100 cubic centimeter of water. Now clearly you can go ahead and you can check the answer. The answer is very simple. It will come out to be 4 into 10 to the power minus 1 cubic centimeter, or 0.4 cubic centimeter. This is what the result that you are going to obtain. 0.4 cubic centimeter. Let's check. A 0.04 cubic centimeter incorrect. B 0.025 cubic centimeter incorrect. C 0.4 cubic centimeter, that is the correct answer. D 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 cubic centimeter, that is the incorrect response. Hope you have got how to do such kind of question. C 0.4 cubic centimeter is the answer. Let me tell you, students actually do not go with the question for bulk modulus, or they do not go with the question of compressibility, and they find it difficult to apply how to apply this formula. Remember, need not to worry, need not to get into the depth detail of this formula. Keep the values will be given, the values of the variable will be given in the question. Keep the values in the formula, you will get the required result. As per shown here, this is actually dv, as per shown here, you can go ahead, put up the values, you will get the required result. Not too tough question will be asked in this chapter, because this chapter is very simple and only some basic formula are applied to solve any question in this chapter. This will be of great help to you all if you practice more, and you will find that at least if any 2 or 3 questions come to your examination, if you know the basic concepts, you are going to score well in those questions. Let's go ahead with the 10th question of the class. 10th question. Now we have steel wires of length 1 meter. That means the wire's length is 1 meter, area of cross section 2 square mm. Area of cross section is given as 2 square mm. Young's modulus, y equals to 2 into 10 to the power 11 Newton per square meter. How much energy is required for increasing its length by 2 mm? I hope that you must be remembering about the concept of potential energy stored in the wire. You see here it's given as A 0.08 joule, B 0.8 joule, and C 80 joule, and D 800 joule. This is what has been given. Steel wire is of length 1 meter. First of all, let me get to you all with the formula that we have discussed. The potential energy is half into stress into strain multiply with volume. That's quite simple. That is what we have learned. Now, if you remember, we all know that Young's modulus Y is equal to stress by strain. We have learned this formula, Young's modulus is equal to stress by strain. Now, from here you can write stress is equal to Young's modulus into strain, and if we substitute this formula in the first equation, we will be getting potential energy is equal to half into Young's modulus into strain whole square, because strain into strain you will get strain whole square multiplied with volume. This is the formula that we have to apply. So what you do, take note of this entire formula, because we have just finished up the board part. So let me rub the leftover part and we'll start from the other part. Okay, I believe that if you have taken note of all this. Now let me put up only the numerical values of all these things that I have showed you here. Now potential energy that we have to show, it's half into Young's modulus. So now you see here Young's modulus is given as, if you see from this question, 2 into 10 power 11. So let's put the value of Young's modulus as 2 into 10 to power 11 with proper SI units. Then we have strain whole square. Strain, you see the length, increase in length is 2 mm, that is 2 into 10 power minus 3, and length is 1 meter. So 2 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 1, that will give you 2 into 10 power minus 3. So that will come out to be, if I talk about 2 into 10 to power minus 3 whole square and divide by 1, you can do for your convenience. Next thing, we have more, that is the volume. Now volume, you see length is given as 1 meter and its area of cross section is 2 square mm. So you can just multiply area into length 2 square mm. So you have to write this as 2 into 10 to power minus 6. This will get you the area in meter square, multiply with length, that is 1. Now simply you have to solve this and you will be getting 0.8 joules. If you solve it, you will be getting this as 0.8 joule. This will be your answer. That clearly you can check if you want to see the calculation portion. You can see 2 and 2 will be cancelled out. Here you will be having 10 to power 11. Here you will be having 2 square 4 into 2 8, and 10 to power minus 6, 10 to power minus 6 minus 12, 10 to power 11, you get 10 to power minus 1. And so 0.8 joule will be the answer. So this much amount of energy will be stored in the wire when it is stretched by length, that is 2 mm. Remember how you have to do. The volume that we have to use, that should not, because this 2 mm is ignorable in case of this 1 meter wire. 1 meter, this much length, 2 mm will be very small. So you cannot add 1000 mm plus 2 mm, 1002 mm, and then you are going to use. That will be ignorable, this 2 mm. So use only the length that has been given, 1 meter, for this volume case. So multiply with the area of cross section with this length 1 meter, you will get the volume of the wire. And then you will use this formula that we have learned, half into stress into strain into volume. That will turn out to be in this way, and substitute the values, you will get the required result. This was all about the exercise based upon mechanical properties of solids. Hope you have learned, hope you have understood what kind of questions come in the examination, and I believe that this would be of great help to you all. It's my advice to you all after the class also, don't be satisfied with only this 10 questions that we are discussing. This is just a learning exercise to understand what kind of questions come in your examination. Also practice more questions, more unsolved examples, that would be really helpful to you all. Now with all this question that you have seen, you would have understood that how to solve unsolved questions. How to apply Young's modulus, how to apply the potential energy formula, how to apply the breaking stress, all the variety of questions that can be put up in your examination we have discussed here. The bulk modulus case, the compressibility factor, all those things we have discussed here. Hope that you will be solving more questions on your own, and I'll meet you all in the next class with some more concepts and more exercises. Thank you everyone for joining me. Wish you all the very best.